Welcome to our Sunday celebration on our channel. Today we commemorate the extraordinary actors who passed away on this day, July 2nd, 2025. Join us as we honor their remarkable contributions to the world of cinema. Our thoughts are with their families and fans during this time of remembrance. May their legacies continue to inspire us all. Before we begin, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more heartfelt tributes. Some people walk into a room and quietly transform the energy around them. Without saying a word, they shift the atmosphere. Denis Arndt was one of those rare individuals. A fellow actor once said that Denis possessed a quiet power, a commanding presence that radiated from the stage, screen, and his everyday life. Over a remarkable career that spanned more than 5 decades, Denis consistently brought both vulnerability and quiet strength to the characters he portrayed. His deep emotional range and understated charisma left a lasting impact. On Broadway, Denis delivered a stirring performance in Heisenberg, a role that came later in his career but earned him widespread acclaim and a Tony Award nomination. The performance reminded audiences and critics alike of his extraordinary talent and emotional depth. On television, his face became familiar to millions through appearances in acclaimed series such as The Good Fight, Grey's Anatomy, and Supernatural, where he brought sincerity and nuance to each role. In film, Denis brought layers of complexity to supporting characters in Basic Instinct and How to Make an American Quilt, elevating every scene with his authenticity. Beyond what the public saw on stage or screen, Denis's greatest contributions may have come through his long-standing work with the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, where he spent 15 seasons embodying complex Shakespearean roles. His performances were celebrated for their grace, intelligence, and humanity. Offstage, Denis mentored younger actors, sharing his quiet wisdom, understated humor, and deep humility. He was beloved not just for his talent, but for the way he listened, encouraged, and led by example. Before his acting career, Denis served in the Vietnam War as a helicopter pilot. He flew with courage and dedication, earning a Purple Heart. That same bravery and sense of duty would later define his life as an artist and teacher. Always grounded, always committed. Denis Arndt passed away peacefully at the age of 86, following a brief illness, surrounded by love. He is survived by his children, including his beloved daughter Tammy. Friends and colleagues describe him as a quiet force, someone who lifted others. Though he has taken his final bow, Denis's legacy endures in every honest performance and in every artist who chooses truth over pretense. Young Scooter was more than just a rapper. He was a voice for the hustlers, the dreamers, and the determined. His music resonated deeply with those striving to rise from the bottom, fueled by nothing but faith, ambition, and a relentless drive. Born and raised in the streets of Walterboro, South Carolina, he carved a path that led him straight to the heart of Atlanta's vibrant rap scene. With unwavering passion, a tireless work ethic, and a commitment to authenticity, young Scooter built a name that demanded respect. At only 39, Scooter left behind a powerful legacy, one that continues to reverberate through speakers, studios, and street corners across the country. He was best known for pioneering a raw, street-driven style he called count music, a lyrical blueprint of hustle economics. Scooter had a rare ability to transform the grind into poetry, chronicling the daily realities of street life with grit and elegance. His breakout mixtape, Street Lottery, wasn't merely a success. It became a cultural touchstone, an anthem for those grinding toward a better future. The mixtape's standout single, Columbia, lit up charts and airwaves, catching the attention of industry titans like Rick Ross and Gucci Mane. The remix, featuring both legends, elevated the track to milestone status. Scooter's lyrics delved deep into the themes of hustle, struggle, and survival, not as abstract concepts, but as lived experiences. He didn't just rap, he embodied a lifestyle that countless listeners could relate to. Respected for his vivid freestyling and uncompromising storytelling, Scooter quickly earned admiration from both fans and fellow artists. His collaborations with major figures such as Future, Young Thug, and Waka Flocka Flame helped shape Atlanta's modern sound, a fusion of authenticity and magnetic rawness that reached far beyond music alone. To those who knew him personally, young Scooter was more than an artist. He was real, grounded, and deeply loyal. He championed his city, mentored up-and-coming talent, and never lost sight of where he came from. Tragically, on what should have been his birthday, Scooter passed away from injuries sustained during an encounter with police in southeast Atlanta. His death sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Tributes poured in, including from Playboy Carti, who wrote, "I grew up on this Sharch T, SMH, RIP Atlanta legend." In a world full of noise, young Scooter's message rang clear, unfiltered, unforgettable, and eternal. He didn't just make hits, he inspired a movement. His voice may be gone, but his legacy remains, pulsing through neighborhoods, headphones, and hearts nationwide. His name was a passport to truth. These words, spoken by a colleague, encapsulate the enduring legacy of Shaka Ssali, a fearless voice in global journalism and a lifelong champion of integrity and justice. At the age of 72, Shaka passed away peacefully following a brief illness, leaving behind a profound legacy that transcends borders, generations, and professions. Born in Uganda during a time of political unrest and societal upheaval, Shaka's journey was marked by extraordinary resilience. He narrowly escaped forced conscription as a child soldier, a harrowing reality that shaped his deep commitment to justice and human dignity. Determined to change the narrative of his continent, he pursued education as both a shield and a beacon. Earning a doctorate in cross-cultural communication and history from the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, Shaka harnessed the power of knowledge to bridge divides and foster understanding. For more than 2 decades, Shaka was the face and driving force behind Straight Talk Africa, the flagship program he launched in 2000 on The Voice of America. Until his retirement in 2023, he hosted the program with unwavering dedication, creating a platform where complex African issues were explored with nuance and depth. His interviews, whether with heads of state, grassroots activists, or everyday citizens, were characterized by courage, clarity, and compassion. Through every broadcast, he invited critical dialogue, elevated marginalized voices, and made viewers feel not only informed but valued. His signature phrase, "You are most welcome," became more than a greeting. It was a guiding philosophy rooted in respect, humility, and hospitality. Those who appeared on his show, whether powerful or unknown, left feeling heard and honored. Shaka's excellence earned him numerous accolades, including the United Nations Peacekeeping Special Achievement Award in International Journalism and a prestigious Ford Foundation Fellowship. However, he remained grounded, never seeking titles, but always striving to serve. His mission was simple yet profound: to inform, to connect, and to challenge injustice with unwavering grace. Tributes continue to pour in from journalists, world leaders, students, and admirers around the globe. Shaka Ssali was not only a brilliant broadcaster, he was a mentor, a visionary, and a beloved human being. From Kabale to Washington, from radio airwaves to digital platforms, his voice carried truth, hope, and unity. Sian Barbara Allen was a gifted actress, writer, and storyteller whose multifaceted contributions to film and television left a lasting impression on audiences and colleagues alike. Known for her emotionally resonant performances and thoughtful creative pursuits, Allen brought a unique depth and sincerity to every role she inhabited. Born in the United States, Allen's passion for the performing arts emerged early. She earned a scholarship to the prestigious Pasadena Playhouse, a milestone that marked the beginning of a distinguished career in entertainment. Her talent quickly caught the attention of industry leaders, and under the mentorship of acclaimed acting coach Peggy Fury, she refined her craft with discipline and artistic sensitivity. She soon became one of the last contract players signed by Universal Studios, an honor that launched her onto Hollywood's main stage. Allen rose to prominence in the early 1970s with her breakthrough role in You'll Like My Mother, starring alongside Patty Duke. Her performance earned her a Golden Globe nomination for Most Promising New Actress. She followed this success with Scream Pretty Peggy, opposite the legendary Bette Davis, where she again demonstrated her ability to portray complex, emotionally nuanced characters. Throughout her career, Allen's versatility shone in a wide range of genres. She starred opposite Gregory Peck in the Western Billy Two Hats and appeared in many beloved television dramas, including The Waltons, Columbo, The Rockford Files, Hawaii Five-0, and The Incredible Hulk. Her portrayal of Anne Morrow in the Lindbergh kidnapping case, opposite Anthony Hopkins, further highlighted her strength in historical and biographical drama. In addition to acting, Allen explored her talents as a writer, penning an episode of Beretta titled Just for Laughs. After her final television appearance on LA Law in 1990, she gracefully stepped back from the spotlight, devoting her later years to her family, political interests, and creative writing. Sian Barbara Allen passed away in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, at the age of 78 after a courageous battle with Alzheimer's disease. She is survived by her daughter, Emily Fonseca, her grandson Arlo, 2 sisters, a nephew, and several cousins. Her legacy endures through the heartfelt performances she gave and the lives she enriched with her kindness and quiet strength. Christina McKelvey was truly one of the kindest and most generous people you could ever hope to meet. Those words, spoken with deep emotion by First Minister John Swinney, reflect the admiration and love so many felt for her. Christina's life was rooted in purpose, compassion, and an unshakable determination to make a difference. She passed away at 57 after bravely facing breast cancer, a fight she approached with remarkable strength and grace. Even while dealing with illness, she never stopped giving her all to Scotland, serving quietly but tirelessly. Born and raised in Easterhouse, Glasgow, Christina's upbringing shaped her lifelong commitment to justice, fairness, and equality. Before entering politics, she worked in social services, always led by her deeply held values. Elected to the Scottish Parliament in 2007, she later became the MSP for Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse in 2011. Over the years, she earned the trust of her colleagues and constituents alike, taking on roles as Minister for Equalities and Older People, Minister for Culture, and most recently, Minister for Drugs and Alcohol Policy. Her work touched countless lives. She helped strengthen protections through Clare's Law, spoke out against loneliness, championed women's health, and fought for human rights both in Scotland and abroad. Whether she was advocating for independence or protecting the vulnerable, Christina's heart was always with the people she served. To those who knew her, Christina wasn't just a public servant. She was a mentor, a cheerleader, and a friend. Her warmth, sharp wit, and deep empathy made her a light in every room. Outside of politics, she loved reading, painting, and walking in the hills, finding peace in nature's quiet beauty. A proud Unison member and lifelong trade unionist, she stayed true to her working-class roots and never lost touch with the communities she championed. Christina also spoke openly about her cancer, encouraging others to get screened and helping break down stigma with honesty and courage. She is deeply missed by her partner Keith, her sons Lewis and Jack, and her beloved grandchildren Maeve and Leo, who meant the world to her. Though her voice has fallen silent, Christina McKelvey's legacy of love, leadership, and fierce compassion will echo for years to come. Patty Maloney was a pocket-sized powerhouse of talent, heart, and humor who lit up every stage, screen, and puppet show she touched. Born on March 17, 1936 in Perkinsville, New York, Patty faced her share of early challenges, including the loss of her father at age 7. Raised in Winter Park, Florida, she didn't let adversity dim her sparkle. In fact, it seemed to fuel her passion for performance. From an early fascination with the world of entertainment, she danced her way from carnival circuits and the colorful chaos of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus to the halls of the University of Florida, where her career in showbiz truly took off. Standing at just 3 feet 11 inches tall, Patti may have been petite in stature, but she was larger than life when it came to talent. She rose to fame in the 1970s as Honk, the lovable alien in Sid and Marty Krofft's Wacky Kids series, Far Out Space Nuts. But perhaps her most legendary and delightfully quirky role was as Lumpy, Chewbacca's fuzzy son, in the So Bad It's Iconic Star Wars holiday special. While the special didn't exactly win over critics, Patti's performance, full of charm and mime artistry, made Lumpy one of the few bright spots in the galaxy. Her impressive resume spanned decades and genres. She made appearances on Little House on the Prairie, The Love Boat, Married, With Children, Star Trek, Voyager, and My Name is Earl. Behind the scenes, she brought the creepy yet charming Crypt Keeper to life as a puppeteer on HBO's Tales from the Crypt, and she lent her voice to numerous animated characters, showing that her talents had no bounds. After the passing of her beloved husband, Joseph Fite, Patti found healing in performance, returning to her creative roots with even more gusto. She frequently collaborated with fellow actor and Little People's rights advocate Billy Barty, and was cherished within the Little People acting community for her spirit, dedication, and humor. Patti Maloney passed away in Winter Park, Florida, at the age of 89. Her life remains a shining example of resilience, joy, and the magic that happens when you live from the heart. Ken Bruin was a true original in the world of crime fiction, a writer whose voice was instantly recognizable and whose influence is impossible to overstate. Fellow author Ian Rankin once described him as unmistakable, a sentiment that captures the widespread sense of loss following the death of one of Ireland's most distinctive literary voices. Bruin, a trailblazer of Irish noir, passed away peacefully at the age of 74, leaving behind a powerful legacy that deeply touched readers and writers around the globe. His work, often gritty and unflinchingly honest, drew heavily on his own painful personal experiences, including years spent traveling through Asia, Africa, and South America. These journeys, combined with his decades-long career as an English teacher, helped shape a literary style that was spare yet poetic, stories that spoke for broken characters navigating fractured worlds, always tinged with a wry, dark humor. Bruin was best known for his iconic Jack Taylor series, which introduced readers to a hard-drinking, sharp-witted former Garda turned private investigator working the streets of Galway. The series debuted with The Guards, a novel that not only launched Jack Taylor into the pantheon of unforgettable detectives, but also earned a Seamus Award and an Edgar nomination. It set the tone for a series that redefined contemporary Irish crime fiction. Beyond Jack Taylor, Bruin also created the London-based Inspector Brandt series, known for its grim urban edge. His novel Priest won France's prestigious Grand Prix de Littérature Policière, further cementing his international acclaim. What set Bruin apart was not just the quality of his plots, but the fearless emotional honesty he brought to difficult themes: addiction, violence, corruption, and redemption, all explored with raw intensity and fierce compassion. Before dedicating himself to writing full-time, Bruin spent 25 years teaching English abroad. This background brought depth and authenticity to his characters, many of whom wrestled with identity, displacement, and moral ambiguity. His prose was lean but lyrical, capable of devastating insight and unexpected beauty. Ken Bruin is survived by his wife Phil and daughter Grace, along with over 30 novels that continue to inspire. His stories held a mirror to modern Ireland, yet their resonance was universal. He died after a brief illness, surrounded by loved ones. His voice will be missed, a silence now echoing in the genre he helped redefine. "You don't look like you're having any fun." Those were the wry, unforgettable words delivered by Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, sharp, enigmatic, and indelibly cool. That same spirit, equal parts daring and elusive, came to define Kilmer himself, a singular force in cinema who brought complexity, vulnerability, and charisma to every role he embraced. On the threshold of 65, Val Kilmer passed away in Los Angeles due to complications from pneumonia, surrounded by those he loved. Though illness may have quieted his voice in his final years, the echoes of his presence still resonate powerfully through the art he left behind. From his formative training at Juilliard to his early comedic brilliance in Top Secret, Kilmer demonstrated a rare range and instinctive command of character. His breakthrough came with Top Gun, where he embodied the cool, calculating Iceman, a role that catapulted him into stardom. But he never rested on commercial success. Kilmer took bold, creative risks, portraying Jim Morrison in The Doors with such intensity and immersion that it blurred the lines between actor and icon. As Doc Holliday, he crafted a performance now regarded as one of the most nuanced and quotable in Western film history. He even donned the cape as the brooding, conflicted Batman in Batman Forever, bringing emotional gravity to a role often defined by spectacle. Off-screen, Kilmer was more than just an actor. He was a poet, a painter, and an intellectual spirit, channeling his energy into personal artistic endeavors, especially during his later years at his secluded New Mexico ranch. His battle with throat cancer was public and painful, yet he remained engaged with storytelling, culminating in his poignant return as Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick, a moment that brought audiences to tears and offered a rare, moving coda to a legendary character. Director Ron Howard once described him as a true artist, unpredictable, yes, but endlessly committed. Val is survived by his children, Mercedes and Jack, who stood steadfast by his side throughout his journey. Today, the world mourns not only a gifted performer, but a deeply soulful man who defied convention, pushed boundaries, and lived vividly through his art. "It was impossible not to learn from Lee Montague," recalled a fellow actor. "He never took a scene off. Every moment mattered." This dedication to his craft defined Montague's career, which spanned more than 6 remarkable decades across film, television, and theatre. Lee Montague, who passed away peacefully at the age of 97, was surrounded by loved ones in his final moments. A fitting farewell for a man who touched so many lives through his artistry and generosity. Born Leonard Goldberg in Bethnal Green, East London, Montague trained at the prestigious Old Vic Theatre School. His early promise soon blossomed into a distinguished career marked by versatility, emotional depth, and a profound understanding of character, particularly those marked by inner conflict or hidden pain. He first captivated audiences on Broadway in The Climate of Eden, and quickly built a career characterized by grit, subtlety, and commanding presence. Montague's stage credentials were formidable. He performed with leading institutions such as the Old Vic, the Royal Shakespeare Company, and the Royal Exchange Theatre. One of his most powerful stage performances came in Who Saw Him Die at the Theatre Royal Haymarket, a role remembered for its searing emotional intensity and nuanced delivery. On screen, Montague left a lasting impression in films such as The Camp on Blood Island, Billy Budd, and The Savage Innocents, often portraying complex men with authenticity and layered humanity. His performance in Brother Sun, Sister Moon, directed by Franco Zeffirelli, remains a highlight of his cinematic legacy. He brought gravitas to roles that might have otherwise been overlooked, infusing them with sincerity and psychological depth. Television audiences knew him from landmark series including Danger Man, The Sweeney, Space, 1999, and Jesus of Nazareth, where he portrayed the prophet Habakkuk. He also holds the distinction of being the very first storyteller on Jackanory, the beloved BBC children's programme, where his rich voice and expressive delivery captivated a generation of young viewers. Offstage, Montague was widely respected for his humility and generosity. He mentored emerging actors, encouraged collaboration, and remained deeply committed to his craft. He was predeceased by his beloved wife Ruth Goring in 2023 and is survived by his family. Tributes continue to pour in from across the globe, all echoing the same sentiment. Lee Montague leaves behind a legacy defined by excellence, integrity, and heart. They say music is the language of the soul, and George Freeman spoke it with effortless fluency. With nimble fingers and a heart beating in rhythm, George infused every note with warmth, groove, and innovation. He didn't just play jazz. He embodied it, lived it, and helped shape its evolution for over 8 remarkable decades. Born and raised in Chicago, a city pulsing with sound and soul, George was immersed in music from an early age. The streets echoed with blues riffs, bebop melodies, and late-night jam sessions, which lit the fire of inspiration in a young teenager who picked up the guitar and never looked back. Guided by local legends and fueled by boundless passion, George developed a style that was as smooth and funky as it was emotionally resonant. His breakout album, Birth Sign, introduced a fresh blend of blues, funk, and jazz, bold yet familiar. Tracks like Mama Papa Brother revealed a sound that was unmistakably George, soulful, innovative, and filled with feeling. Throughout his life, he collaborated with jazz titans like Charlie Parker and Gene Ammons, yet he remained grounded, often performing with family members and generously mentoring rising talents. Even in his 90s, George's creativity never waned. His recent release, The Good Life, was hailed as a masterstroke, elegant, vibrant, and alive with the same spark that had lit his early work. Critics and fans alike praised the album for its vitality, a testament to how true artistry only deepens with time. George's guitar spoke straight to the heart, shared a longtime collaborator. When he played, you didn't just hear the notes, you felt the story behind them. His music was more than performance. It was a bridge between generations, genres, and emotions. Whether in smoky jazz clubs, grand concert halls, or through headphones across the globe, George's voice rang clear and true. George Freeman passed away peacefully at the age of 97, surrounded by love and admiration. His legacy lives on through his recordings, the musicians he inspired, and his family, most notably his nephew, saxophonist Chico Freeman, who continues to honor George's spirit with every note he plays. Rest easy, George. You've given the world your rhythm, and it will echo forever. You could feel every word Johnny Tillotson sang. That's what made his music linger in your heart long after the song ended. As one fellow musician once put it, he didn't just sing songs, he lived them. Johnny, whose smooth, heartfelt voice filled radios and living rooms around the world, passed away at the age of 86 due to complications from Parkinson's disease. Though he's no longer with us, the legacy he leaves behind is rich with soul-stirring music and countless fans who were moved by his gentle sound and kind spirit. Blending pop and country in a way that felt both fresh and timeless, Johnny carved a path all his own. His breakout hit, Poetry in Motion, climbed the charts and captured the spirit of a generation. His signature sound, tender, sincere, and full of emotion, stood out in an era filled with musical change. Songs like It Keeps Right On a Hurtin' didn't just become hits, they became classics. That particular song earned him a Grammy nomination and was later recorded by none other than Elvis Presley, a testament to its enduring power. Johnny's music spoke of love, heartbreak, and the kind of longing we all feel at some point. Whether you were dancing in your kitchen or sitting quietly with a broken heart, his songs had a way of reaching you. But he wasn't just a voice on the radio. He was a true performer. Touring internationally, Johnny brought joy to audiences everywhere with his warm presence and unmistakable charm. Over 5 decades in the spotlight, he stayed remarkably humble, always expressing gratitude to the fans who supported him. He shared 45 loving years with his wife Nancy, who once said, "He was the sweetest, kindest man I ever met." Her words echo what so many others felt. Johnny Tillotson was not just a talented artist, but a genuinely gracious human being. In his final days, he released one last tender song, a quiet, heartfelt goodbye that reminded us of the voice we first fell in love with. Though Johnny may be gone, his music continues to comfort and inspire. His melody lives on, touching hearts across generations. Hayley Okula. Alkali was one of those rare humans who seemed to have a superpower, showing up for others day after day, no matter what. She saved lives, lifted spirits, and turned ordinary moments into opportunities to encourage, guide, and inspire. To her fellow nurses, she wasn't just a colleague, she was a mentor, a cheerleader, and sometimes the voice in your ear reminding you that yes, you've got this. Known to many simply as Nurse Hayley, she brought heart, humour, and humanity to the profession, becoming a beacon for nurses around the world. Though she began her career in the high-stakes chaos of the emergency room, Hayley's passion didn't stop at hospital walls. She launched RN New Grads, a platform designed to help new nurses navigate the wild and wonderful world of healthcare. Her now famous ER cheat sheet was more than a resource. It was a lifeline for thousands. Hayley knew exactly what new nurses needed because she had been in their shoes, and she met them with honesty, warmth, and zero judgment. But Hayley's influence wasn't limited to nursing tips and exam strategies. She opened up about her personal journey, including her challenges with infertility and her experience with IVF. In doing so, she created a space of honesty and hope for others walking similar paths. Her videos were raw, real, and full of love. The kind of love that made people feel seen, heard, and less alone. At just 33 years old, Hayley passed away from a rare complication during childbirth shortly after welcoming her beautiful son, Crew, into the world. Her loss is felt deeply by her husband, Matthew, a firefighter with the Los Angeles Fire Department, and by the nearly 1 million followers who tuned in daily for her wisdom and joy. Matthew put it best. Hayley was my home, my compass, and my greatest pride. Her strength never faltered, not in her work, not in her journey to motherhood, and not in her final hours. Though she may not be here to raise Crew, her light lives on in him and in every nurse who finds courage through her story. Hayley's legacy is one of care, courage, and unstoppable compassion. Jazzy was not just a player, but a true ambassador for ice hockey. His spirit and dedication will be missed with those words. A fellow teammate captured the essence of Gigi Kokta, a man whose passion for the game has shaped generations. Gigi passed away at the age of 78 after a brief illness. His name became a symbol of excellence not only in Czechoslovakia, but throughout international hockey circles. Known for his fierce competitiveness and smooth style on the ice, Jazzy played with heart every shift. His journey began in Prague, but his impact reached far beyond. He wore the Czechoslovak national jersey with unmatched pride. In 2 Olympic Games, he helped earn a silver and a bronze medal at the World Championships. He stood on the podium numerous times, taking gold, silver, and bronze across 7 tournaments. At home, fans admired his talent with teams like Chad Praha and HC Dukla Jihlava. Abroad, he brought energy and leadership to clubs in Germany, gaining admiration from fans and teammates across borders. After hanging up his skates, he moved behind the bench as a coach. He passed on his knowledge with care, mentoring young players and coaching teams in Germany with the same dedication he showed on the ice. Those who knew Gigi remember more than his stats. They speak of a man who listened, who taught, and who always carried himself with quiet strength. He brought people together not just on the rink but in life. Today, the ice hockey world mourns one of its greats. Yet, in every rink where young players dream big and in every cheer from the stands, traces of Jay-Z's legacy remain. His family, friends, and fans will carry his memory forward with pride, with gratitude, and with love. Goldie Hawn, an American actress, producer, and philanthropist, has been a beloved figure in Hollywood for decades. Known for her infectious laughter, radiant charm, and remarkable versatility, she has entertained audiences with iconic performances since the 1960s. Born on November 21, 1945, in Washington, D.C., Hawn's journey from a dancer to one of Hollywood's brightest stars is an inspiring tale of talent, determination, and resilience. Early life and career beginnings. Goldie Jean Hawn grew up in a Jewish family in Tacoma Park, Maryland. With a passion for dance, she trained in ballet and tap from a young age and began performing professionally in her teens. After studying drama at American University, she pursued a career in dance and theatre, eventually transitioning to television in the late 1960s. Hawn gained national recognition as a regular on the comedy sketch show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Her comedic timing and lovable personality quickly made her a household name. Her trademark giggle and bubbly demeanor won over audiences, and she soon became one of the most sought-after comedic actresses in Hollywood. Hollywood stardom and memorable roles. Hawn's breakthrough on the big screen came with her Oscar-winning performance in Cactus Flower, 1969, where she played a quirky and lovable young woman. This role showcased her ability to blend comedy and depth, cementing her status as a leading lady. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Hawn starred in a string of hit films, including Private Benjamin, Shampoo, Overboard, and Bird on a Wire. Her ability to bring warmth and relatability to her characters made her a favorite among audiences. In addition to her acting, Hawn also ventured into producing, showcasing her creative vision behind the scenes. Her work as a producer, particularly in films like Private Benjamin, demonstrated her knack for storytelling and her commitment to strong, relatable female characters. Health challenges. Despite her enduring success, Goldie Hawn has faced health challenges that have impacted her life. In recent years, she has spoken openly about her struggles with anxiety and depression, conditions that have accompanied her since her teenage years. These mental health issues, exacerbated by the pressures of fame and a demanding career, have been a significant part of her personal journey. To manage her mental health, Hawn has embraced meditation and mindfulness, practices she advocates for through her philanthropic work. Her foundation, the Hawn Foundation, focuses on promoting mental health and well-being in children, reflecting her dedication to addressing the stigma around mental health. Hawn has also faced age-related health concerns, including joint pain and other physical ailments common in her later years. Despite these challenges, her commitment to fitness, yoga, and a healthy lifestyle has helped her maintain her vitality and energy. Philanthropy and the Hawn Foundation. Goldie Hawn's philanthropic efforts are an integral part of her legacy. In 2003, she established the Hawn Foundation, which aims to improve children's mental health through the Mind Up program. This initiative teaches mindfulness, emotional regulation, and resilience, helping children navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Her foundation has reached over 6 million children worldwide, making a profound impact on young lives. Hawn's dedication to promoting mental health education underscores her commitment to creating a better future for the next generation. Personal life and enduring legacy. Goldie Hawn's personal life is as celebrated as her professional achievements. Her enduring relationship with actor Kurt Russell, whom she has been with since 1983, is one of Hollywood's most beloved partnerships. The couple has blended their families beautifully, raising their children and grandchildren with love and unity. Hawn's children, including actress Kate Hudson, have followed in her footsteps, carving their own successful careers in Hollywood. Her influence extends not only through her own work, but also through the legacy of her family. At 78 years old, Hawn remains an icon of grace and positivity. Her laughter, optimism, and dedication to her craft continue to inspire fans around the world. A timeless icon. Goldie Hawn's journey from a dancer to an Oscar-winning actress and philanthropist is a testament to her talent, resilience, and unwavering spirit. She has navigated the highs and lows of her career with grace, using her platform to spread joy and make a difference in the lives of others. Her contributions to Hollywood, her advocacy for mental health, and her enduring charm have solidified her place as one of the most beloved figures in entertainment history. Goldie Hawn is more than an actress. She is a beacon of light, laughter, and hope for generations to come.